about home. They're married to real estate.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the podcast for people who love real estate and want to become inspired and informed. Whether you are a newbie real estate agent looking to get tips, learn a thing or two, or maybe you're a savvy property owner who wants to get a jump on the market, this is the place for you. We discuss our passion for real estate and people, and we bring together our personal experiences as well as our guests to learn from each other. You'll hear from experts in sales coaching, real estate law, mortgage lending, investing, and many local business owners on how to grow your business or your investment in real estate. I'm Mairi McCauley.
I'm Mairi Elliot.
I'm Mary Forster.
And we are Married to Real Estate. Hi, everyone, and welcome back, Marys.
Hey, Mary.
Hey.
Hi, Mary.
How are you?
Great. Good.
So we had taken a little break due to the weather, which was not cooperating. So here we are and excited to be back. So tell us what is going on in your real estate lives.
I would say the best thing that's going on in my real estate life is making connections with people and having wonderful opportunity to connect with people.
Yeah.
We just went to, three of us were at that 100 Women event the other night.
Wonderful.
100 women donate $100 4 times a year and get together and make a donation to a nonprofit.
I love that.
Real time.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
real time. No big administrative stuff for marketing.
100% of the money.
100% of the money. Oh, and it was a blast to meet
How
all
did
the
you guys
women there.
Feel.
Oh
doing
my
it?
God. Well, for me, it was amazing because I'm part of the leadership of the 100 Women Who
right.
Care Greater Westford chapter. So that was our first
Of course
meeting.
you are.
And then Live for Live was one of the ones in the running. I had nothing to do with picking them as I wasn't even at that meeting, but it's all random. And I didn't even nominate them. Jody Marchand, who joined the 100 Women.
Okay.
She nominated the charity, and then she gives a little 5-minute speech. The other two did too, which they were amazing.
They were amazing.
All of them. Like it was really, hard to pick one over the other because they're all such great causes.
Right.
But no, I mean there were tears.
Yeah.
Jody burst into tears. We had a big giant check. She's gonna get. I think. Well, we had like 78.
It's about $8,000.
Yeah, 7,800. Yeah. And then, but we've had more
that's so
people
great.
donate since then.
Oh.
And then the vehicle for donating during some of this time that people were joining, they would give like extra $10 here or there. So that's why it was kind of an odd amount.
Yeah.
And so that money will go too. So we're trying to get as close to the 10,000 with the 100 members, if we can get to 100 members. But we got close. And it was our first meeting. So
It was terrific.
super exciting.
And it's not just for Westford, it's for the greater
It's the
area.
whole
Even
area.
Groton, I'm
Yep.
sure.
Of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So it was super good. So thank you, Mary
You're welcome.
Forrester,
Thank you.
for bringing that up.
Thank you,
And-
guys.
Yeah. So I mean, speaking of Groton, I just feel like I'm moving chessboard pieces around in that town right now.
And as a townie, you should own that.
That my townie status has been like coming up in a million conversations lately, and it's just such a funny thing. Like I did just have my 45th birthday, guys. We haven't seen each other, I don't think.
Birthday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
So like I think I'm officially old now. And
40 is the new
nothing
30, so that 50 can be the new 40. So
right. But like now I'm at the point where, I never wanted to be a townie, but here I am being one, married to one, multi-generations in, and it's serving me pretty well in my business, and I love that I have roots in my community, and that's really what I'm doing is connecting with my community like in a sort of deep and rich way right now, and it's really building my business in a
well,
great
it's a contact
way.
sport, real estate. So get in
it
contact with people, right?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Well, so that brings us to our guest
Yeah.
today. We've
Where
got
did I learn such things?
lovely and fantastic, brilliant Deb Hayes. So Deb is a real estate agent, been in the business for a long time, but right now she has been for the past, 4 years?
4 years now, yes.
4 years, our productivity coach, heading up the director, really, of our productivity coaching program at Keller Williams here in Westford.
Yeah.
And Deb, let's hear a little bit about you. How did you get started in real estate?
Okay, well, I'm going to have to go on the way back train here. But I came into real estate many years ago, pregnant with my first child, thinking, oh, that'll be a fun, nice little part-time job, which of course, it can be. And, it's kind of interesting. I interviewed at 2 or 3 different real estate offices at that time, and 2 of them said, we can't hire you. You're pregnant, which was very interesting.
So we're going way back.
Showing how many years back
You'd be a millionaire now.
You'd be a millionaire.
Yeah. And both of those companies eventually were not in business after I ended up going over to Keller Williams.
Good.
I'm sorry, I was at Century 21 for years, and very, very, very well trained back then. And I didn't do a ton of business, but I was told, you don't have to do a ton of business, but whatever you do, I want it done right.
Right.
So I had that always as my sort of go-to thought.
Yeah. Right.
And, as time goes by, kids get bigger, we run around, and
Yep.
before you know it, I'm just, hopefully, in my mind, I was killing it, and I
Yeah.
did really well, and really worked there for a long time and really enjoyed it. I'm from Pepperell, and
Yeah.
home base, same whole, very long history being in that town.
Yeah.
So then we, after a while, I felt that, it was time for me to kind of spread my wings a little bit. So 8 years ago, I decided to make the move to Keller Williams. I wanted to be in a company that was fresh and training and technology. Even though I had been around a long time, I really wanted to continue my growth. I'm a learning-based person, and so went over there and doing my thing, minding my own business, selling real estate. And internationally, corporate-wise with Keller Williams, I started to see and recognize, and looking at data, that a lot of the newer agents coming into every real estate office were not really getting any direction. Take a left and follow your nose no longer worked in this new environment with, all of it. So they really, they really started focusing on this as something that needed to be done, and they wanted to be the forerunner of that, which I believe they have been. So the owner of the company kind of just came along and twisted my arm, asked me many, many times, can you spearhead this program? So after I finally let it twist enough, I said, all right, let's go for it. And I've been doing it for 4 years, and started out with just a couple of agents.
Babies.
Probably ground zero of the program, and I went kicking and screaming. Okay, I did not want to do it until Deb, with her persistence and just kept following up with me and was like, what is keeping you from doing it? And I hadn't had any business yet. I was new,
Right.
Solo agent at the time, and I was like, well, I don't want to pay a fee. If I have to pay you and pay Keller Williams, the brokerage fee, which we all do, And then I was like, wait a minute. 100% of nothing.
I think it's nothing.
And Deb helped me see that. And then I thought, how can I really say I gave it my all if I don't try everything to make me successful? And sure enough, that was the springboard that launched me into a really good, solid business and a really good, solid business practice. So thank you, Deb.
Yeah.
Well, it was interesting. You did not want to do it, and I remember sitting in my office that day, and you just really didn't have any reason not to, other than maybe the money, or you didn't want to be held accountable. I don't know what
That's
it was.
I'm sure all of that.
Yeah.
Yes,
And,
all of the above.
So, to your credit, you came into coaching, got a listing very quickly, had a very interesting co-broke person that you were all scared about, and we worked through
karma
that.
is a biatch.
Yep, karma, So I think that was a big learning moment for you.
Huge.
To realize that everybody puts their pants on the same way.
Yeah.
Right.
And,
Yep.
you can outspin anybody.
Well, and I couldn't have done it without you in my corner. Like, I think back sometimes about that, thinking, how would I have handled that on my own? Because I was like, when the phone rang, I didn't want to, I wanted to hide.
Yeah.
And you were like, just
Yeah.
go and just do it and do this and say that. And I was like, okay.
It is absolutely so helpful to have somebody say that to you in those moments, because so many people feel that way. Their instincts are to not answer the phone, not ring the doorbell, not do the things, but saying no, just do it.
Right.
And you said the same exact thing to me one day. I was intimidated about a agent I was going to be submitting an offer to, and you were like, she puts her pants on the same exact way you do.
My
And
motto.
I'm like, yeah.
It's true.
And it does.
very
It
true.
checks you. You're like, oh yeah, right. We are actually all humans, and
Yes.
probably she's nervous about something else today, and isn't going to be thinking about me probably at all. So,
Yep.
Well,
Yeah.
the point is, you guys all have the chops. You just didn't don't know it
Oh,
sometimes.
we lack experience at that point.
Confidence.
And confidence. Yeah.
It's the confidence.
Well, and you learn, what qualified us to walk in the office. We passed this crazy test, you know, and the test has nothing to do with the day-to-day work of real estate, of how to sell. But Deb, you seem like a teacher type. You know, you have like a teaching personality. I'm really impressed by that.
I don't know where that came from, and I don't know if I have it, but if you say so, maybe. But
you just exhibited.
Well,
yes.
I was going to ask what you thought it was about, your broker coming to you and trying to force you into this position. She must have seen this in you.
She knows stuff. She knows what she's doing, and she's hearing, and she's very Claire
Ryan.
Claire Ryan.
Yeah.
She's the broker owner of the company, and the Big Cheese, we call her. And she's very forward thinking, and she's hearing it, she's absorbing it. She always wants to grow, make the market center better, make everybody better, and she's agreed. It's right down to the basics. If you're not really teaching, training, coaching, directing the people, it's a disservice to the agents, it's a disservice to the office. It can be there could be a liability issue, if people are out doing things wrong and so forth. And it's just a win-win-win-win all the way around when somebody is given some direction.
Yeah.
Because people don't mean to make mistakes or do things incorrectly or say the wrong things, and we all still do, by the way. But so I think it was to her credit to say, you know what, I'm going to lean forward into this.
Yeah.
And how many people are in the program or have gone through the program? I mean, it's wildly successful. So let's just say that.
Right. It's been very, very, very successful. Absolutely. Last year, we within the coaching group, we did about $39 million in volume with 67.
I was part of that.
Right.
Terrific.
Part of that.
Yes.
Currently, right now, we have 40 people in the coaching program. You come into the office, you're into through the coaching program, and you have to work within the system for your first 4 deals. You can stay in and do more if you want, or you can just hang out and be part of coaching and just hang around and continue to learn. Nobody really learns in 4 deals, as we all know. Mary, you're still learning
Exactly.
too.
It's always learning.
It's always
learning.
And then once you figure it all out, they change all the documents, they change all the systems. So I have a good group now, very motivated. I have people who are retired executives. I have kids in college. We're all over the place, and everybody in between helps everybody else be better.
As I was thinking about our conversation with you today, I was thinking that the program that you're running is like the great equalizer.
Well, that sounds very Gary Keller.
People of any walks of life can walk in and get the tools they need to become successful.
Yeah.
And you just brought that out in terms of a college student or an executive.
Yeah.
But think about the many people who come from diverse cultures who have few opportunities to become professionals.
Absolutely.
I have a nephew who, I don't know if he finished high school. I mean, I think he maybe got a GED, but started when he was 18. And he had the personality. I mean, that really worked, but it made him a professional.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And what an equalizer that is.
It's one of the reasons why I love this career so much.
Yeah.
Like everybody, you can be, a 2-times lawyer and then become a great real estate agent, or you can be a high school dropout and still have tenacity and ability.
Still be in college.
Yeah,
Immigrant. I mean, look at the people coming in through our organization and making it in their communities right away.
Yeah.
And then stepping out. Yeah.
Right. It makes it makes it a joy for me too, because everybody helps each other too.
Yeah.
Oops, sorry.
She's starting to play piano on the table.
I mean, the senior agents in the program bring a lot to the table, lots of business experience, lots of good knowledge that you just can't. It comes with age,
Well, I think one of the things about our program is that, you're not afraid of new ideas. I mean, I'm involved in the program from a coaching assistant coach type
Yeah.
role, and but you're always open to new ideas. Like I love the whole powerhouse properties that
Yes.
we're
Yeah.
a team,
Yeah.
and that it gives new agents the confidence, to say, let me take it back to my team, or my team has done this many deals, or and it just makes that difference of having them, jump off the cliff in
Yeah.
faith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It gives them a place to land and to be. And, instead of just floating around all by yourself, that's a hard place to be as a new agent, no matter what age you are.
It is.
and,
There's so many options and directions you can go floundering out in the world, and without some guidance and masterminding with others similar to you, you can make some mistakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Another thing that impresses me about you is your dynamism. You have energy. You do. You are like in
dancing around the
transition,
office all the time.
dancing, being really concentrated in the mastermind, and then dancing again.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of this. Okay, what are we doing next? Let's go. What's happening? What are you guys doing? Let's go.
clap a lot?
Yeah, a little bit. It's a little pep clap. I love it. It's a trademark.
It is. Well, I just want to keep everybody moving. We only do better when we're moving forward, and
Yeah.
that's what we try to do. And maybe that's just my natural way.
Your teacher persona.
My teacher. I'm gonna think about my clapping, but I want things to keep moving. And that's how we get better in life, when we're always jumping over the next hurdle and climbing up the next stair. Some people walk upstairs, some people run, some people fly. And it's my kind of job to see who's who.
Yeah.
Which is pretty interesting to see. And sometimes you don't know. Sometimes you just think it's part of, as I say, the joy of it.
Right.
Learning, understanding people and where they come from. And people come from, like you said, Mary, very different backgrounds
Right. Yeah.
with very different stories. Not everybody grew up in a nice, great place, or somebody did grow up in a nice, great place, and they're not so great themselves, personally, inside.
Yeah, a hot
I mean,
mess.
I don't, there's certain skill levels that I know where I'm.
Yeah, what skills do you think it takes to be a coach? Like, what do you love about coaching? What that you get to flex your muscles on? And by the way, let me just say that's a coaching clap. Like, come on, team,
Yeah.
let's go.
It's a total coaching
yes,
clap.
and
Yeah.
and I love it.
Yeah.
So what do I like? I want to hear people's story. I want to help them think. I think ultimately that's what coaching is. Tom Brady's got talent, and those guys all have talent way top level, but they need a coach still to keep them moving in the right direction and help them think. And my job is to teach people to think on their own. I do have a tendency, and I have to be careful with solving people's problems. That's maybe the mother in me, I don't know.
Realtor
But
in you too.
we want, yes, because realtors do nothing but solve
Well, we do.
problems.
Right.
It's
Right.
the gut instinct.
Right.
Yeah.
So my ultimate goal is to teach people to think, to have it internally, to have it hardwired in their head as to what the next move should be. Right?
Excellent.
Yeah. So I think when I get a call that says, "Hey, I have a new buyer, and I have a new listing, or I need some help, and what do I do?" And they're so excited because they've worked hard. Remember,
Yeah.
real estate people work for free until they have a closing. So it's a lot of work, and keeping everyone motivated and seeing the forest through the trees is really another piece of the puzzle. And
Well, and you have a coach too.
I do. Yes, absolutely. I have a coach
Which I
that I
think
meet
is
with
important.
I think everybody should have a coach
agree.
in some way, shape, or form.
It's wise. Yeah.
Yep. I have a MAPS coach, which is a part of the Keller Williams programming, and I meet with her every Tuesday morning from 10 to 10:30, and I got to be ready, I got to be there, I got to be on time, and I have to be prepared, and we're out at 10 to 10:30, and I'm done, and she helps me get to my next level, because I'm always looking to get better, improve. I want to be the best coach, and I want my agents in my program to be the best that they can be, really.
What is the funnest thing that you remember in this job? Any experiences
In the whole real estate career?
Yeah, that is kind of what's been the funnest, because we know that there are a lot of hard parts.
There's a lot
right?
of hard parts
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
For absolutely
Yeah.
sure. Funnest part, there's a lot of things I probably can't say because you know how it is. You walk in on
we've
people.
done that
We've
here.
said a lot of things and then said, whoop, might have to cut that, Nick.
I don't know. I think the funnest thing is when I really have, and I guess the funnest thing is when I get people from where they want to go to where they want to go. Right. You know, where do you want to land, and let's work our way backwards. You know, and that's really the best part of it for me, really helping people get to it. And then the other fun thing is when I hear from them 3 or 4 or 5 times down the road, sell that house, they move to New Jersey, then they come back, sell them another house. You know, all of that is really exciting for me. And then, of course, working with their kids or their nieces and nephews. And it really makes me part of their world a little, like Deb and Mo. I mean, I met them when their babies were babies.
Oh.
I sold their house and sold them another, blah, 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 and now those girls are in college almost, I think.
Yeah,
and,
one, I think the younger one isn't yet.
you know, and they bought multi-families and done lots of business, and I feel like, you know, like I know them. You know, if I had a question about
drywall,
I'd call him up
Mo,
because
for
he's
sure.
like knows his stuff. And so that's I think the long-term relationships, Mary, I think is what I really enjoy a lot.
Yep.
And I really enjoy bringing it into the coaching because that's sort of my focus. When the agents in my program do really well, that's really a big joy for me.
I was thinking about that, though. It is kind of like the triage area, right? Like the agent, like the new ones come in, you triage them, you coach them up, and then they graduate and go spread their wings. So it's like the short-term thing that you have with those agents. But then ultimately, I don't think that's for you short-term at all. I think you become den mother to a whole stable of agents.
I tend to. I certainly still hear from people, you know, Abby, back when you were, you know, I still hear from her, and she sends me, you know, and I like to, because that's what we do in real estate. This is a marathon. It's not a 2K.
Right.
It is, you know, yes, we do some triaging, but it's a long-term scene. And, so I enjoy that part of it as well.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny to see, you know, you have such a great responsibility. You're training agents to be great agents and to do the paperwork right and to negotiate the deal in a way that makes sense and to put their clients first and all those things and not be a nitwit or ding dong or, you know.
or greedy so-and-so.
Right, or, And so, you know, I mean, being out in the field, like we are, you know, to go up against another agent and have them submit an offer on your listing that's scribbled and, you know, is a hot mess.
Yeah.
And then, you know, to have someone say to the newer agents, you know, wow, you know, you really know how to put together an offer and really presented it well. You might not have gotten it, but at least the mechanics and the basics and some of that stuff is thoughtful and put together and well organized.
Yeah.
And I think that's really important.
It is hugely important.
And I have heard that recently a lot, actually, because this market is very difficult. We have agents working with buyers in particular, multiple offer situations, and, you know, people just only have so much money, and they simply just can't get the house. But I have had many feedback from my agents with other agents saying that very thing. You didn't get the deal, but I want to tell you your presentation was really good. And, you know, because we need to know that, because I'm sure that agents are a lot of upside down, inside out, messy things with things left off. Not everybody's trained, and we have to understand that's unfortunate for them. But, I think it's important. That's what I want for the agents. I want them to be in our office. I want them to be high-level professionals.
Yeah,
absolutely.
This is a business. This is your career. It's a job. Like, that's what I say.
I feel so compelled to like speak to my experience of it because you didn't. You like felt like you had a choice, right? Like you could choose to go into this program and it was a new thing. But when
It
I
was
was
brand
coming,
new,
right. And when I was coming in, it was, you know, like 2-3 years in, and it just was like what you do when you start at our office. And I'm so glad it was presented that way, and it is that way, because I wouldn't have I wouldn't have known how to write a clean offer or how to make a great CMA or any of those things. And I really, truly have always gotten that feedback, like nice offer, you know, well put together, details were great. And oftentimes I think in my winning situations win because of that, more times than not. So it's so helpful. Like it's I know the difference from being at a smaller brokerage before that had no guidance and no, all right, let's sit down and write your first offer together and do it step by step together, which is what you did with me. So having somebody be able to do that with you and care enough that it is right and that you're doing it right and it's not just like, oh, whatever, I got to get to my tea time, it looks fine. It wasn't that, I would call you at, 7:00 at night and get it done.
Yeah, and I think the way you show up in the beginning is how you will continue on in your business. If you just don't have it organized and you just don't have it together, you will continue on that path.
Yeah.
And, we do have folks coming in that aren't quite, that maybe don't have it quite together, but it doesn't take long. Let's take a moment. Let's put together a plan and get you moving in the right direction. And most people are very open to that and they want to learn. If you want to learn, you came to the right place.
That's
if you
right.
don't want to learn, then you don't need to.
You're not going to do so well.
You're just going to do your thing. It's a hard business to be in. It's not driving around looking at pretty houses. It's working with people, managing every bit from the
biggest
buyer.
purchase of their lives.
Hundreds and hundreds.
Yeah.
Millions of dollars.
Millions of dollars. Cumulative.
Do we have a good time?
Well, we do. We work hard, we play hard.
That's right.
Maybe that's my motto.
That could be your motto. That's a good motto.
That is
a good
actually
one.
what I do. I work hard and I play hard.
So speaking of playing, this is one of my favorite things.
What makes
so
you play?
Deb kept this a big secret
It's
for the
not a
longest
secret.
time.
I love
No longer, whatever
Yeah.
it is.
So we're outing her right here.
Oh, stop.
I know it.
It's not a secret, but it is something that I love to do. And you're talking about playing billiards.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I do.
Oh, we can't call it pool.
Well, it's either way.
She's getting fancy on
no,
us.
it's billiards.
Fancy.
for her,
Well,
thank
you know.
If you're competing on teams, maybe it's billiards.
Maybe it is.
Well,
All right.
I play on several different leagues, and with COVID, it was very difficult because you just couldn't
Right.
go. And like anything, whether you're playing golf or football or tennis, if you don't practice and play all the time, you definitely lose your skill.
Sure.
And so I've definitely played in several different leagues. Right now, I'm currently up in Tingsboro at Maximilian's. Shout out to Laura. And,
Great
my
pizza
high
at
school
Maximilian's too, by the way.
fantastic pizza, which makes it a little rough because the way you sit, right? You sit on those high, stool chairs, and of course the waitress goes by and it's
Right under your nose.
level.
Yeah.
Ladies, let's go.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Lunch field trip with the Marys.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Road trip. So, anyways, I play there on Tuesdays every week, and sometimes I play in air at the Billiards Cafe, and then I was playing up in Nashua at Boston Billiards. So I enjoy it. It's something that I like. It's competitive, and something that I do know. It's when I play, and this can be related to real estate. When I play against really high skill leveled players, which they are, I mean, they're like lights out ahead of me, and I really enjoy it because I get better.
Right.
I don't win always,
Right.
but I'm playing up.
Right,
And when I
raises your
play
level,
up,
yeah.
my skill level gets better, and of course they'll say, "Hey, Deb, maybe you should have done this or that,"
Right.
Or because they're going to beat me anyways, and they all come from giving too. They don't always beat me,
Yeah,
but
good.
Yeah.
I'm talking
Checking on you.
super high level
Right.
players,
Yeah.
Right.
and they will. They'll just say, Deb, I noticed that you're pulling back, or your stances, and it's all the same, very similar to golf and tennis. You have to.
And they're coaching you.
And
They're
I was
coaching
just gonna
me,
say that,
and,
yeah.
and the other thing too. Everywhere I go, everybody wants to hear about real estate.
Yeah.
They either want
Referrals.
to,
Yep.
they just want to know. It'll
How's the
be
market?
11:30, and I'm trying to walk out the door. Hey, Deb, I got a question. My neighbor has radon. Okay, But in their eyes, they see me as a professional, and I know what
are,
I'm doing, and they do want to know things. I mean, literally. Everywhere I go, and I do say that to my agents, and I've said it to all of you guys, and Mary. It doesn't take long before
Yeah.
everywhere you go, people ask you about real estate. I don't care if
Exactly.
you're at a baby shower, a wedding, a funeral. I'm telling you, people will ask you about real estate.
Yep.
So always be ready for those questions.
Yeah. Know the answers.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Do
that's
you
my
miss
fun
selling?
thing.
Do you miss selling?
Yeah, I do a little bit. You know, I do miss that piece. Although that's why I'm leaving here at the end. I have to run over and help one of the newer agents with a listing that's we're going for in over in Tingsboro. So I'm excited about that.
All right.
Yeah, so you still go on listing presentations,
I go on
buyer
listing
consultations.
presentations,
Yeah.
buyer consultations, going to Somerville on Saturday with a brand new agent in college, calling people, and we're meeting on a $2.4 million.
All right.
3-unit.
All
$2
right.
million.
So this kid, you know, a perfect example, in college, works 12 hours a day driving for Amazon, comes to every meeting he can, and makes phone calls.
Yep. And he's a master on the phone already.
God
He's a master.
bless
He's a
him.
natural.
He really is.
So I'm
That's
very
fun.
excited to be working with him.
Yeah.
And I don't mind going down to Somerville.
No.
Maybe
Yeah.
go catch up with my daughter and have lunch.
Nice
out.
restaurants.
Make a day out of it.
Yes.
For
Yes.
sure. Maybe
Great.
over
Changed so
Assembly
much.
Square.
Yeah.
That is fun.
Yeah,
I can see that being very fun. If you're not active, but you're next to somebody that
Yep.
is, and coaching them through it
Yep.
and seeing them succeed in that way is thrilling.
How are you doing?
So what's your
Yeah.
biggest challenge of the coaching program?
Working with you. No.
Mary McCauley.
I'm sorry, everyone. What? No, she said Mary. She didn't say which one.
Well,
She looked at you.
My biggest challenge, I have a few. The first one, I think, is making agents understand that this is a job. You know, and it's not that thing of, oh, it's going to be fun and
Fun and
easy.
games.
And it has very little to do with the houses, as you guys know. It's all about managing the buyers and the sellers and the attorneys and the lead paint and the divorce and the
Expectations.
crying and the
Yes.
whole.
Yeah.
It's, you know, managing all of that. So that's a challenge for me, keeping people motivated and engaged. If people are natural, there are people that just are, and that's great. It's, you know, kind of trying to get those that can't quite get. A lot of agents have a lot of fear. It's a little bit of a confidence issue. It's, I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
I don't, you know, it's just a little natural shyness.
Yeah, there's some cart before the horse, too. How am I supposed to get anyone to sit down with me when I haven't had anyone sit down with me? You know?
It's a little bit of that. So, yeah, we try to teach people to, you know, that's the hard part, you know.
Yeah.
You get people out of that comfort zone. And some people, unless it's an emotional connection for them to see it's good to get out, even Timmy, he didn't want to call.
Yep.
You know, we have an agent in the program, and there was a new mayor in Lowell, and we said, Timmy, call him up, do an interview with him. Oh, no. And this kid is not shy.
Yeah.
no.
And
But he didn't know anything about politics. He let all the stuff get in his way.
And now he's met the mayor, and he's gone on.
They're like best
Doing his
friends
social
now.
media.
And all
Yeah.
the
The
social
mayor of
media.
Lowell.
Yes,
Yeah.
I've seen
Yeah.
it.
Yep.
And, you know, and he said to me, and it was Mary who really coached him on making that phone call. He said, you know, if Mary believes in me, I guess I need to.
Oh, I love
know.
that.
This guy is one confident guy.
I love
Yeah.
him
He was on
so
TV.
much.
He's on television.
Yeah,
he was on the
Yes,
Food
yes.
Network.
Right. So, but, you know,
Yes.
he's still, everyone has their sort of inner
Right.
Vulnerability.
demons,
We do.
inner
Yeah.
vulnerability. You know, he just didn't feel like he knew anything about politics. Of course, we said, don't worry, politics, they can talk.
Right. Well, I said, we had the town manager of Westford.
Yeah, we
and
did.
I was like, what exactly? Like, you're not
Yeah.
a mayor. Like, how does that work? And I've only lived here 16 years. So I was, fully confident
Just
to tell him to
we
let go of
practice
that.
ignorance.
Right?
It doesn't matter. Yeah.
Right.
So that's my charge.
All
to
right.
make, you know, to get people
Yeah.
off their keister and move
That's
it forward.
great.
You
That's
know?
awesome.
That's
so,
an inspiring career
yeah.
you're in.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's been a
So,
great transition.
how do people get in touch with you if they are thinking about a career in real estate?
Well, I would say certainly reach out to me. I can, you know, you can reach me in my cell number. I don't know how you guys put that out there. It's 978-697-7294. My email is debhayes, that's Hayes, at kw.com.
Perfect.
great. And you do a career night every Wednesday, the first Wednesday of every month?
First Wednesday of every month, we do a career night from 6 to 8. It's out there on the website everywhere, and you could certainly, if you're interested at all, I'd be happy to talk to you one-on-one. You can come in the office, we'll have a little tour,
Yeah.
meet everybody, and get you underway.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we usually end our podcast with a little quote, and I know you have one that you...
I have millions of quotes, as you know. Play hard. No. I think
to win.
for me, I say a lot in my coaching. So I was thinking about this when I was driving. Like, what do I really say to people? And this is truly the thing that I think all agents and everybody in the world, you know, in life should know. people don't care about what you know until they know that you care about them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if you go in to meet somebody, whether it's a listing or a meeting with a buyer or buying a wedding, whatever you're doing, if the person doesn't care about you, you're not going to care about them. So let's make sure that we're always coming from contribution and being there for people before you're there for yourself. If you can't look in the mirror first, then you can't walk through the glass.
Yeah,
kind
I
of
love
thing.
that.
All right.
Yeah.
That was somebody else's quote. I heard that.
all
recently.
very
Who was
good.
It
that?
reminds me of National Association of Realtors survey when I was coming up as a realtor. And what are the top 3 things that people look for in a realtor? First one is trust.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
exactly
Absolutely.
what you
Yeah.
were just saying, trust. The second one is responsiveness. And the third one is subject expertise.
Yep.
In my mind, I
That's
thought that
third.
had to be first,
Right,
you know,
yeah.
and therefore I was
No.
in that
Backwards.
category.
They listed them wrong.
Backwards, yeah.
You need to be
Exactly.
able to connect with people right off the
So
bat.
right off the
That
bat,
is the
right.
key to it all.
Well,
Yeah.
it's a lot of it's a very, very, very personal thing for people buying or selling. It's a lot
Yep.
of money, so they want to know that they're in good hands.
Yep.
And I like to treat everybody the same, and I want to make sure that if I run into the pizza place and I run into somebody, I don't have to hide behind the Coke machine.
Right.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know,
Yep.
because
Absolutely.
you know,
Head
and-
held
yeah.
high, right?
Yeah.
Just know that everybody you've dealt with
Just do
fair
your
and above
best.
board.
From your
Yeah.
best.
do
yes,
your
yes,
best.
from
Do your
right.
best.
Love
So
it.
That's that.
Well, thank you,
great.
Deb.
Thank you,
Really
Deb.
appreciate you being
It's
here.
awesome.
Deb Hayes, Director of Career
You can run the
Development and
table if you want.
Productivity Coaching, can now, bump the table.
Bump the
No,
table.
well,
every
To
time.
all of the realtors.
All right.
Well,
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're-
It's been really, really a pleasure.
Thanks for coming, Deb.
Thanks, Deb.
We'll see you.
Bye.